You gonna do that over here? Over here? So we can see you. Welcome to the next live leg day. That's what we got going today. And if you have questions, post them in the chat. The main purpose of these is to show you how I work out, as well as answering your questions you have. So diet, training, whatever. Type of fitness advice, life advice if you want. Who knows? Just post it in the chat and I'll be checking that as we go through and answering your questions there. But the main topic I'm going to be covering in the meantime, until anyone has questions, is just debunking bad fitness advice that newbies typically fall for, including me. I fell for a lot of these same things. And it's what I see all the time. It's irritating because when you don't really know any different, you're going to get fooled. So we're going to try to make sure that doesn't happen to you. But I'm starting out here with my leg presses. I'm gonna get my first warm-up set in here with 200 and got my notes app here. I'm using 220 for 15. So I'm gonna get started with that and then we'll cover any questions you have if you post them down there. Hit that like button if you're joining in now because it helps out with videos getting pushed out. I'm using my Gazelle Pro leg press here. I got a video on that as well if you wanna check out. And I got my supplements I use every day right here that I'll cover those in a bit. So, I try to treat all my exercises the same, whether it's a light warm-up set or my working sets. So, we're gonna start here with 15 reps. All the way down, all the way back up. Same tempo. My legs are really stiff too, the first couple sets. That's why it's really good to warm up. Well, yes, that was legs felt stiff for sure on that one. Are you drawing? With chalk? Sweet. I said sweet. Because that's cool. Unplug the fridge here. It's loud. And I'm also wearing my Wokeness Breeds Weakness shirt because I was going through some comments that I guess had missed. They don't always pop up in the notifications. And one of them said, "Why are you wearing that shirt when you're so obviously gay?" And it made me laugh. Because for one, I'm married to a woman. We have 6 kids. Biological kids. I'm also a Christian. And I think it's wrong. I'm not one of those people that's gonna say, "Oh yeah, you can be gay, it's normal, that's what we do now." No, I'll tell you, I think it's wrong. If you don't like that, sorry. But not sorry. If you want to debate it, feel free. But as far as supplements, it's what I use every day. And I'm testing out this Turkesterone right now. This Turk Max from HTLT Sups. I'm like 8 days into it now, something like that, 8 or 9. Got the hardcore stem pre-workout, the tropical punch that I like, creatine I take every day, around like 7 or 8 grams. I've been experimenting with taking more than 5 to see if I notice any difference. And then vegan protein is down there as well. Just because I like the flavor better than the casein. It's not as thick. not too loud. Don't yell. Oh, yeah, so I'm gonna do one more warm-up set, then I'm gonna get into the actual working sets. And also I've got it linked, actually I'll throw it in the chat as well for you guys. If you want to use the same supplement, oops, here you go. And I've got a discount code that'll get you 15% off. So just bad fitness advice in general. When I started out as a teenager, I remember seeing Marvel movies, like the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, Fantastic Four, and being like, oh man, I want to look like those guys. And there's no YouTube. I mean, I guess YouTube was kind of around back then, but not like it is now. Weren't a whole lot of people on it. It was mostly silly videos people would look at. But I remember I would get men's health magazines because that's what they would cover. Just like we do on YouTube now, talking about, oh, what were people's diet and training look like for whatever movie role. That's what they did, but it was always fluff stuff. No one talked about steroids, and not that you necessarily have to take steroids to get a good physique. I haven't taken any, and I will say, I think I have a good physique. I'm happy with it, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into what people do in Hollywood that they don't talk about, and they just say, oh, I just trained really hard and ate a lot of chicken, and here is my workout plan. And those workout plans were usually a joke, and I'll get into that in just a second. Here's my second set. Got 290 for 10, and the numbers I'm saying are just the weights. I don't include the weight of the carriage just because it's easier to calculate just the weights, but it's an extra 60 pounds for the carriage, so I guess that's what, like 350 for 10. You good, honey? Yeah? It's funny, that second set felt better than the first set. So now we'll go to the working weight of 380, I think. I've got all my weights listed in the description from what I did last time, so we can compare as I'm doing my sets. Progressive overload is the true secret to making progress, which is actually one of the mistakes I'm going to cover in a little bit. Oh man, 380 for 12 last time, so I'm going to try to get at least 13. So those men's health articles though, it's the same thing now with the men's health videos on YouTube. Some of them are better, like for the guys who actually know what they're doing. A lot of times it's not even the actual actor, it's their trainer, and they show these silly exercises. It's like, all it takes is the basics and pushing yourself hard. But I remember getting these like 5-6 week programs and be like, oh, I need to do this and that's gonna help me to look like that actor. Didn't say anything about diet. I didn't know how much protein you need to build muscle until I was like, I don't know, 29, 30. Before that, it was mostly, which kind of leads me into this next mistake, is just drink a protein shake and you're good. So like literally, as soon as we finish working out, we get a mix up a shake with 2 scoops of protein powder and be like, oh yes, now I'm gonna build all this muscle. Never happened. You wanna be shooting for a certain amount of protein every day. 1 gram per pound of body weight is an easy thing to remember. It's the top end of what you really need to optimally build muscle. If you're training hard and you're eating enough calories. So that the big mistake is looking at those articles and thinking, this is what's gonna get me big. This is what this actor did, which maybe they did that workout once. That's not what got them big. It's just doing the basics. Doing 10 to 20 hard working sets a week per major muscle group. Pushing yourself, progressive overload over time, and you're gonna make progress. And it's slow. It doesn't happen fast. When you first start, the first year can be pretty quick. I put on over 10 pounds my first year. Pretty much lean tissue. I think I might have actually been a little bit leaner at the end of the first year. What are you doing? But it's, there's no magic, there's no secret. It's working out consistently. However many times you're planning a week to get those, hitting your major muscles at least twice a week for that 10 to 20 working sets, whether that's push-pull legs a couple times or upper lower 4 times or doing multiple full body workouts. You just gotta be consistent and make sure you're eating enough protein, eating enough calories to grow muscle adequately. There's a whole lot of mistakes that come along with that. We're gonna cover, I'm trying to think of other things to say on this topic before, just because I'm stalling before doing this first set, because it gets tough, that's for sure. So 380, which I guess with the weight of the carriage is 440. Got 12 reps last time. So let's see if we can get 13. Here we go. What, babe? What are you doing? Are you trying to break them? Is that what you're doing? You're trying to break them?
Yeah. You put them in a pile.
Well, you could put them in a pile with them not being broken in half.
Oh.
If you hear a loud clicking noise, that's my 3-year-old breaking sticks of chalk. High rep leg presses are tough.
Maybe that's like the color.
Here we go. And when you get those deep, I used to do weight probably like 200 pounds more than this and not go all the way down. But when you do a little less weight and go as deep as you can, you feel, I feel my quads all the way up into my hip flexors. And on my first rep, I felt my hips pop too. If you just hit it on the ground, it'll probably break too. You have to hold it on one end and hit the ground. See? Last 13. So, those little workout programs, I mean, if you stuck with one for a long time, track your progress, push yourself a little harder, every time you work out, it would work over time if you're being consistent. But that leads me to the next mistake people fall for. And I even had someone in the military in a physiology class like 3 years ago, say the same thing. We got to an exercise portion and the guy said, when it comes to lifting weights, you gotta change up your program every 6 weeks at the most, because the only way to grow is to shock the muscles and confuse them, muscle confusion. I'm like, I just sat there and rolled my eyes. I was like, dude, I've literally been doing the same program. Sometimes I vary exercises, like I might do incline bench for a while instead of flat bench. I might do a lat pull down instead of a pull up. You're doing the same motions. But shocking the muscle and changing up your program every 6 weeks is a good way to not make progress. Because right when you get to 4, 5, 6 weeks, you're to the point where you're really getting into the groove. You're getting good at those exercises you're doing. And now you're gonna change it up and start something new where you gotta spend a couple weeks just learning them and getting used to that, and then you're overloading. Then by the end of it, now you're moving to something else. Whereas you get good at doing something and you slowly push more and more over time. Man, that's tiring when you do those higher rep sets. But you push more and more over time. Like right now, I'm shooting for 1 more rep. If I can do 2 more reps, I'm gonna do it. But I'm trying to hit at least 1 more rep than I did on my previous workout, which I did. And that's why I keep all this tracked on my phone. You see there, my plan for today. It's what I got in the description as well. I try to hit at least the same as last time, but to try to hit a little bit more. And once I get to a certain amount of reps, then I bump up the weight some and start back at the lower end of those reps and work up again. And that's how you make progress over time. It's by simply doing that, sticking with the same exercises that work for you. Go to the gym and try it. Like, how does a bench press feel versus like a seated machine press where you're doing the same thing versus an incline press? Just what's the most comfortable? What do you feel your chest engage most on? And work with that and progress over time. Same thing with back. What kind of row? What hand angle? Like I see people go sit on a lat pull down machine and keep doing them from like 3 or 4 different angles, doing the same lat pull down. I'm like, it's not like you're gonna hit a special muscle just by turning your hand a little bit. Like for me, I feel my back the most when I'm at about a 45-degree angle on pull-ups, and it's the most comfortable, but I can do them flat-handed too. I mean, it's just, do what works the best for you, but you don't need to do every single hand position to think you're gonna get your back the best as you can. Most people just aren't consistent, and that's why you don't see progress. Consistency is literally the #1 thing that's gonna get you the most progress when you are trying to get big or trying to get lean, especially lean, because you gotta be consistent with your diet. All right, let's do this next set. These are tough. I had to buy these shorts when I was on my last trip because I was in China and I left to fly back to Alaska and realized about halfway back that I had left my gym clothes hanging up in the bathroom to dry. So then I went to JCPenney. I got these shorts and a shirt that I worked out in for a few days, and I went back to China, ended up at the same hotel. I was like, hey, do y'all happen to have my clothes? And they did, so I got my clothes back. These shorts were actually a little small, but the next, I think these are mediums. I needed larges, like you see the pockets flaring out. But the next option was like extra large, and I don't want massive pants hanging off of me, especially doing lunges and stuff. It makes it harder when your pants are catching on your legs, especially when you start sweating. Try to make sure I get my feet in the same place, pretty close. I thought about doing a set when it feels really good, just getting some chalk and outlining my feet. I may do that here shortly. Five. Notice those last few reps. I'm trying not to give myself, when it gets tough, more than like a rest. I'll take one big breath and go again. Because you can lock out and then sit there. When your knees are locked, it takes a lot of stress off your legs. And pretty much keep going and get more reps. But then you have to take into account, well, how long, did I really get more reps than last time? How long was I resting? So I give myself one big breath when it gets hard like that, just to keep pushing. But I'm not gonna let it rest at the top for a long time. Man, all right, that's 12 reps at 380. So now we're going to drop it down to 360. I might on my next workout keep it at 380 and do a third set at 380. But not quite yet. Because these hard, heavy sets will zap your strength pretty quick. If I do it again, I might only get 9 reps. But I only dropped the weight down 10% of what I started at the most. Make sure I counted the weights right. Calculator. I got 55 times 4 is 220. That's 35. That's plus 70 plus 70. Yeah, that's 360. Okay. That was tough. So the last part, I mentioned how with diet, being consistent, you definitely, with diet, if you're losing fat, need to be consistent. And that leads to another bad piece of advice I see from a lot of people. And it's cardio does not help you to lose fat. You hear that from guys like V-Shred. You hear it from, I made a video before on a heart surgeon who talked about how cardio is not beneficial for losing fat and keeping it off. That's true, I guess, in a sense, if you only do the cardio when you're trying to lose weight, and you don't keep doing it after the fact, because you're gonna be burning way fewer calories, so it's gonna be harder for you to keep the weight off. That's what you use to get the weight off, because whatever diet you pick to lose weight is what you need to stick with to maintain the weight loss, to keep it off at your lower weight. So whether you're doing keto, whether you're doing carnivore, whether you're just counting your calories to make sure you stay within a certain calorie amount, which is what I suggest, because I don't think you should cut out complete food groups for no reason. But if your way of losing weight is by doing cardio, then your way of keeping the weight off needs to be continuing to do cardio. But for me, I don't do cardio to maintain my weight. I've been doing it for my heart health, because I got blood work done back in October, and most everything was fine. My cholesterol was pretty high. My bad cholesterol was above the normal range. I felt completely fine. I'm like, well, shoot, I don't want it to keep getting worse, and then end up with a heart attack when I look relatively healthy. So I had been out of the habit of doing cardio for almost a year when I was gaining weight for powerlifting, because it made it harder to eat more. So I got back into it, and over 4 months doing cardio twice a week for an hour was my goal. Doing swimming was how I did it. And I got my blood work done again about a month ago, and my bad cholesterol went way down. It's still higher, it's in the normal range, it's towards the higher end of that, but it went from, normal range is 0 to 99, I went from 116 down to 90, which is a really big drop. I'm gonna keep doing cardio next time I get it checked, see if it helped even more. But then my good cholesterol went from 60 to 65, which the higher your good cholesterol, your HDL is, the better. And the ratio of those two, a lower ratio is even better. So I had a ratio of 1.9 before, which is actually really good. Anything below 3.6 is considered healthy. And the lower it gets, the lower your risk of heart disease or heart attacks. And so I went from 1.9 in the ratio, and since my LDL dropped so much and HDL raised, they're even closer. I went to 1.4. So healthier, that's what cardio is for. But cardio does help you lose fat, because what it takes to lose fat is to be in a calorie deficit. And people say, yeah, I agree with that, but you can go run 3 miles, we'll say, in 30 minutes. That's a pretty slow pace, but say you ran 3 miles in 30 minutes and you just burn 350 calories. Well, you go eat 2 donuts, not even that, a donut and a half in like a minute, and you just erased all that exercise, which is true. But to me, when I do cardio, I tend to make better choices in eating, because I'm like, I did all this work, I don't want to just waste it on eating a bunch of junk. I want to actually feel good too, and I typically feel a lot better when I'm eating healthier. So it's kind of a snowball effect. The more exercising you do, you typically start making better choices in other areas, and you just get healthier all around overall. So cardio does help you lose fat, because it puts you in a calorie deficit even better. And I'm gonna get this next set and share another point on why cardio helps. Man, I'm feeling my quads. So we dropped 20 pounds down to 360. Five. A lot of times people say the whole cardio doesn't help to lose weight or burn fat because they don't want to do cardio. Because it is difficult when you first get into it, but like even though I hadn't swam in a long time, after I did like 3 or 4 sessions, it was no big deal. I was back into it like normal, like nothing ever happened. Now, if you do a different form of cardio, it's gonna be more difficult. Like if I went to run, I wouldn't be able to do it very long, but you have to work up to it. And people don't wanna do that. But something, I gotta stand up. Something people fail to mention is that when you do cardio, you typically eat less just from the fact of, like I do an hour of cardio. I typically don't eat for an hour prior because I don't want my stomach to feel full and make me feel sick. Hey, I was sitting down and my legs were getting too tight.
Oh.
So I had to stand up. But then while you're doing the cardio, you're also not eating. So that's 2 hours right there. And that same feeling of while you're doing the cardio, you don't really feel like eating. I typically continue to feel like that for at least an hour, sometimes 2, after I finish cardio. So you're talking a 3 to 4 hour time span where I'm not eating and not thinking about eating either, which is extremely beneficial if you're trying to lose fat, because you're gonna be in a calorie deficit, and after a certain point, you're gonna start getting hungry. Especially if you're dieting to an extreme extent for a bodybuilding show, something like that. You're gonna get hungry. So if my mind can be taken off of thinking about eating or my next meal for 4 hours of the day, that's pretty huge. So just that aspect alone of the alternative is me being in a calorie deficit. I'm not able to eat as much food because I'm not doing the cardio. So now I'm feeling even more hungry because my volume of food's lower. And I'm trying to not eat while just sitting around doing whatever. Versus I'm keeping myself busy. I can eat more total food and I'm not thinking about eating for 4 hours. When you start getting hungry, it can be tough to sit there. Be like, no, don't eat, don't eat, don't eat. So cardio helps to lose fat, but it helps in multiple ways. Just keeping you healthy, not thinking about food, being able to eat more food overall. It's pretty important. Oh man. Got 2 more hard sets of legs. And then I'll be doing my supersets of calf raises and leg extensions and leg curls. Legs are getting pretty meaty though. This goes to show, like, I get a better leg pump doing this than I do with squats. And my back doesn't hurt like it does when I do a bunch of heavy squats. Because I was even doing like sets of 10 to 12 with 250 on squats, but my back just, you'd never know. Having to support the weight like that versus this, it's just the quads. I can feel it. And I'm not doing the powerlifting anymore, so it doesn't really matter that much. But if you're competing, you know, it's kind of important to do your squats. But I mean, I know there's a lot of bodybuilders who they don't do any squatting, they don't do any bench pressing. It's like almost all machines because you can really just get locked in and focus on that one muscle. I really like seated, like chest supported rows because I can get a really deep stretch and pull, and I'm not having to support the weight with my lower back. I can get a full range of motion. I can really feel the weight. And it just works better. I want to get something like that for here to do rows eventually. Like this GMWD Fitness. I like the stuff I've gotten from them so far for upper body. So maybe I'll get some kind of row machine next, plate loaded. I like those ones at the gym too, where you can do one at a time. So you can kind of like hold onto the bench and get a really deep stretch and turn a little bit with it. I don't like that it takes longer. And I'll do both sometimes too. But those work really well. The next topic. How many reps do you need to do? I remember my first even when I got into doing a program consistently, like 5-6 years ago, I'd be like, oh, how many reps should I do? I want to lift heavier weight, so maybe I'll just do like 6 to 8 reps. I was like, well, this person says you need to do 10 to 12 to get better muscle growth. What do you do? And it's like I pick something, I start doing it, then I see a video from someone else. Well, studies show that this is the most optimum for muscle growth. And the answer really is that it depends on the exercise. I mean, and what you like. I mean, really experimenting with different rep ranges is what's gonna make the biggest difference for you. So like anywhere from 5 to 30 reps, if you're pushing at or right near failure by the end of that set, you get similar muscle growth. So it's a lot easier to go to failure with 5 reps because it doesn't take as long, but you're also more likely to get hurt the heavier you go and the lower the reps. I found for most of my exercises, a good area is in the 10 to 12 range, even 9 to 12, something like that. But it depends again on the exercises. Like if you're doing squats and you're trying to do sets of 15 to failure, you are gonna be huffing and puffing big time by the end of it. Same thing with deadlifts. I've done sets of 15 heavy deadlifts. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. Same thing with lunges, because you're doing one leg at a time, so it takes twice as long. My heart rate gets up in the high 180s when I'm wearing my watch and tracking it like that. So big compound movements like that, you might be better off in that lower, closer to 10 rep range. But doing a lot of my accessory lifts, like my chest flies or leg extension, leg curls, I'm shooting for a 15 to 20 rep range. And calves, I'm usually doing higher, up towards 15 or even more. So you gotta experiment with different muscle groups. Like biceps, I like doing sets of 10 or more just because when I get really heavy, I start getting some pain here. It depends on your anatomy and what you feel more. What do you feel sore from the next day? You don't have to feel sore to make gains, but a little bit of soreness is a good indication that you work the muscle hard. And if it's recovered by your next session where you're doing that muscle group, then you know it's pretty much spot on for you. My chest gets sore almost every single time after I work out. My quads are usually sore for a couple days. Not really bad, but I can feel it. Then my calves if I stretch out. My back, I mean, I did back day yesterday. I can slightly feel it when I stretch my lats, but my back rarely ever gets sore. So it really just depends on you and the specific muscle group. Oh my goodness, my legs are really pumped right now. All right, this is the second to last set. I do a drop set on this one. So I'm gonna do as many as I can, again with 360. Then I'm gonna pull this 70 pounds off and keep going. I'll tell you what, these sets where you're going deep on these leg presses, really any leg exercises, like it will humble you because the burn, the stretch you get gets quite intense. Five. Ten. Ideally, on a drop set, you'd have some buddies strip the weight for you. I actually kind of prefer this way because walking around gets a little bit of that lactic acid out. So sometimes you get to failure where you just can't push it up anymore. And other times like that, it just starts burning so bad that you can't get any more. That's what it felt like there. Oh my goodness. I'm glad there's only one more set of those. There is so much pollen on my weights right now. It is ridiculous. So 11, 7, I think I did 12 that time. I've gotten one extra rep on every set so far. Let's see if I can get one more on this last set. This is why you don't want to pump up your legs before posing, because there's like no separation you can see because they get so swollen. If I had flexed at the beginning of my workout, you'd be able to see them a lot better. Let's see, 55 times 4 plus 70 plus 50. Yeah, so 340. So basically ending the last set at 10% less weight than I started. You can see each time I dropped, 5%, I did first working weight, 13 reps, then 12, because if you push into failure, you're probably not gonna get the same amount of reps. And I dropped off 20 pounds, because 380, 38 pounds would be 10%, so I'm just going with 40. But then I got 13 again, then 12, and drop in the weight one more time, another 20 pounds to get to that 10% below the original number. Shooting for around that 12 to 13 again. Or more if I can. Again, if you're joining in, feel free to post a question in the chat if you have any. I'm glad to answer questions here. Whatever topic, let me know where you're watching from, what you got going on today. But the next point, this is a big one I learned growing up, and kind of from reading Arnold's Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding, was you gotta eat big to get big. Hear a lot of people say that. Typically it's people who aren't very lean. They think, oh, I just gotta bulk to gain more muscle. They tell themselves that so they don't feel bad about eating a ton of food because they don't want to be disciplined. Bulking can help you for sure gain strength, but you're not gonna gain that much more muscle. If you're not taking drugs, you can only get so much in a certain amount of time. And I've done both. I've done main gaining, I've done bulking. When I first started looking at that encyclopedia of bodybuilding, I just ate a lot of food. I was eating like a couple pounds of meat a day, a glass of whole milk at every meal. This whole meal plan I got from that. And I gained a lot of weight. I think I went from like 160 up to a little over 180, and I just looked thicker. I got a little stronger in the gym. Again, at that time, I wasn't really following a program aside from those like Men's Health article ones that I kind of built out for myself. Didn't know how many sets, reps. And there's so much on YouTube now that helps you. You guys don't realize. Newer generations coming up. Good stuff you can follow, but there's a lot of junk on there too. That's why I make these videos to help people out. But you don't need to eat that much. Like if you're literally eating enough to maintain your weight and you're having a gram of protein per pound of body weight a day, that's all you need to build muscle. And you're gonna naturally eat a little more over time. Like if you track your calories, just eat the amount you need to maintain your weight while eating that protein you need, and then bump it up 100 calories like every 3 months. Start eating 100 calories more. That's your new baseline. You'll gain a tiny bit of weight. You're still gonna be building muscle. And then again, 3 months later, bump it up another 100. And a year later, you're eating 300 to 400 more calories a day than you were before. And you're not gonna notice big changes because you can't make big changes. That's why people like bulking too, because I think they like immediate results. You go into a bulk where you gain 15, 20 pounds over 3-4 months, you're gonna see big changes happen really fast and you're gonna get strong. But then you go into a cut, you're gonna see changes happen fast, but you're gonna end up around the same weight and not have really gained that much muscle. But you can see those changes happening because you can gain and lose fat quick, but gaining muscle is a lot longer, slower process, especially the longer you do it. So that's why I tell people, take pictures and do that same thing. If you're eating roughly maintenance, eating the protein you need, take some pictures now, bump your calories up by 100 every 2 or 3 months, 100 per day. Take pictures again in 6 months and you'll see the difference. You can't see it on a day-to-day basis. Like the first year I went from 158 to like 172 or 173. I thought I looked the same looking in the mirror, but then when I looked at the pictures, I was like, wow, my back's way bigger, my legs got huge, my shoulders were bigger, my arms were bigger. Like there's big changes that I didn't notice because I just see myself in the mirror every day and you don't notice those little changes. You do see those changes when you're bulking and cutting because it happens fast, but you spend a lot of time being self-conscious because you don't look as lean, and then you start feeling skinny and think, oh, I just burned my muscle off during your cut, when you just didn't have as much muscle as you thought. So you don't have to eat big to get big. You will get big and fat if you eat big. You just need to eat big on protein. Eat a lot of protein slowly over time. You're gonna see those changes. Let's get this last set of leg presses that I'm dreading. Got 12 on my last set of the last workout. So we'll see if I can beat that. Get 13. With 340, so I guess this is plus 60, this is 400 pounds. You can do it. You can do it. I try not to speed up the reps either. I try to keep it consistent. It's hard to do that when you get tired and you want to just get through it, but if you're taking the time to do this, try to get the most out of it. Here we go. Look at it as fun. Five. Ten. 11. 12. Got it. Oh my goodness. So that was 1 extra rep for every set I did today, which makes 5 total extra reps. And it's hard to walk. I really like these Rit Fit plates too. I bought all these Rogue recycled rubber plates. They were the cheapest ones they had. They bounce really well, but they're still pretty expensive. And some of them, one of them's off by 1.5 pounds. Most of them are off by like at least half a pound. And these ones were all within, it was either 0.1 or 0.2 when I weighed them. And they're way cheaper than the cheap Rogue plates. So I was like, I used to always want to get the name brand stuff for everything. So I'm like, it must be the best. These things are sweet, and I like the colors. The spec Fleck ones are nice. But if you're joining in, let me know where you're watching from. And if you have any questions on diet, training, whatever, feel free to post them. I'm just covering various topics of mistakes people make as beginners, same things I made. But if you have specific questions, I'd be glad to answer those too and to help out. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into my calf raises so we can get this going for the rest of the workout. I'm doing 6 sets of calf raises. The first one's a little bit of a warm up, and then 3 sets of leg curls and 3 of leg extensions. So I'm going back and forth with the calf raises and the leg extensions and curls. So, I get this weight. Man. My legs are quite pumped. Oh my goodness. This leg vein too, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like, it's sticking out pretty good. I was 181.5 this morning. 3 days ago, I was 186.5. And I was talking about that workout, how you have weight fluctuations based on usually water. And that's a good example of it right there. Hey babe. You said we were on Dairy Queen. I didn't say we were going, I just said they were doing free ice cream. I don't know if they'll give it to me when I have that many kids though.
But it's
It might be.
I'm hungry.
Then why are you not here?
I don't know.
Have you eaten lunch yet?
No,
Why?
we just got here.
I got some new wheels they sent me for this thing that are supposed to fix that squeak. I just haven't felt like putting them on. Because that's also kind of an indication. I've noticed the only time it does that is if you're pushing uneven. So I guess some people like to do single leg extensions. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like putting extra torque on my hips because my back's crooked. And that's just one more way to throw it out. But if I'm pushing uneven, it'll squeak. It's kind of a clue into me to, hey dummy, make sure you're pushing equally with both legs. All right, so I'm gonna do a warm-up set here. So I'll take this down a little bit. Leg curls. Both these machines are from Rit Fit. They sent me, I've got reviews on both of them. Someone complained about this one saying it's a plate eater. You have to put on way too many plates for it to work, but I like it way better than the bench I used to use. It's a lot more comfortable. The weight capacity is really large on it. I've been getting good workouts, so I don't have a problem with it. If you got plenty of weights, then you know, it should work fine. Ten. 15. Oh. 20. Feel it in the hamstrings. Let's see, I need the 35s. It's my big chalky mess over here now. For my 3-year-old. Just slow and steady progress. It's been about a week and a half on this Turkesterone. I haven't noticed any, I'm only taking one a day right now. I haven't noticed any sleep problems. I actually think like I'm sleeping longer lately. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, or maybe I am pushing harder than I'd be able to in the gym, and it's making me sleep longer. I don't feel aggression, like, oh, I'm more motivated to lift, because I'm already motivated whenever I work out to lift. So, I guess perhaps maybe a little more vascular, I don't know. You eat cereal? Is that what you had for breakfast?
I had toast for breakfast.
Toast? Oh, my calves are burning. They're burning. But it's a good burn. Means they're growing, right? Maybe. That was 17. That's one more rep. That's cool.
There was a lot of road work.
A lot of road work?
Yeah.
Were y'all on those back roads? Did y'all go on the highway? Or on the back roads?
That was a lot of it. We were at least driving for 10 minutes. We were at least slow for 10 minutes. The road work.
On the WOWO? On the WOWO? How's practice?
Good.
Do you feel ready for competition?
No.
You point your toes. Keep your feet together. Get a perfect 10. Yeah? You better try.
I don't think I will.
You can still try.
Is she to get her to the water? Because the other, on Tuesday, Coach Camber scored her water. She asked her to. And then she got like a 9, 7, and above.
Alright.
the beginning of my note said,
You look like a squirrel?
no, said, don't close your eyes.
Yeah. Well, I had written I got 15 last time. I did 13 that time. I don't really count the 15 because I didn't stream my last leg workout because it was Sunday. After church, we had my daughter's birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
We had friends over. I ended up working out late and I didn't feel like setting up lights and all that. I was just coming in and out doing sets, but then I got my wife and one of her friends to come out here and start doing some leg presses. So there's probably a good 10 or 15 minutes between when I did my sets of leg curls. So they weren't as tired as they are right now.
Those are disgusting.
Moe's?
Yeah.
Why was it disgusting?
Well, the rice was like a lemon taste, but the chicken was good.
Well, that's not rice like you get in an Asian place. It's Mexican.
And I got the brown rice. The brown rice was a little bit better than the white rice.
Did they say, welcome to Moe's when you walked in?
Well,
Only? Ow, my calves feel like they're gonna break out of my legs. What if my legs went? Would that creep you out?
I would.
It
Run
would?
inside. I would run inside to Mom. Then I have to go to the hospital right now.
Would you get a towel for me to wrap it up?
Oh,
You'd have to drag me because I wouldn't be able to walk on it.
so you'd be able to walk the mountain.
I'd be hopping, but it's really sore, so I'd probably fall over from the pain of it too. You're a pretty cool kid. Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Were you surprised to see it when you got home? Hi, how was class? Not right now. How was class? Did you do well? Did you get a perfect 10?
You can't get perfect tens in practice.
Yeah, you can. If you're practicing like you're doing the real thing.
Then maybe. In my bars.
In your own mind you did? Did you cover your ears in both?
I forgot.
Did you really?
They're back.
How do you forget? That's the one thing you need to be remembering. Did you jump straight on the beam or the board?
Probably not.
Those are the two things you said you have to work on, is jumping straight and then covering your ears.
I forgot about them, that's why I need to work on them.
Well, you don't get any more chances to work on them now. You just got competition.
Well, we get one of that competition. We could do one or two for a month and then we do our. Oh yeah!
Did you say Fantasia?
No, competition, oh yeah.
Hey, when I tell you, can you pull this one off?
What?
Just
But I'm too weak. That's 50-50?
You're right in front of me.
Oops.
Last 7 leg curls.
Go Faja. No. Oh, was that 19?
Mm-hmm.
I kept counting.
It was 19.
If the camera's facing you, how can it see me?
What?
How can the camera see you if it's facing me? It first says if it's seeing me if it's facing. Did you get more food?
I don't know what you're saying.
Can I have a few? There's dry ones. Ew, I have milk on them. How do you give me milky ones?
Hey, please don't mess with that. That thing, if it gets knocked off, it's going to cut the video.
Gone. Boom. How come this one goes, and this one goes, and this one goes?
So there's a delay.
But how come this one goes before that one?
Because it's a delay. That's the last thing that's coming in.
Oh, this is fine. Whee! Oh, I hurt myself.
Please don't pick your nose on camera.
We never do
I
that.
know that's your favorite thing to do.
No! It's our worst thing to do. Worst favorite thing.
Worst favorite thing. Baby, this day, dun dun dun. I don't like that song. It's annoying.
What song?
To build this city on rock and roll.
Is that what Tammy was listening to?
No.
I'm not sure.
Or is that playing in the gym?
Plays at gymnastics.
Build this city. Build this city on rock and roll. No, it's going to be stuck in my head.
Sorry! It's me too.
I've just been laying there. It's weird. Sliding along.
Bye.
There, on the camera.
Oh, I thought
Izzy, please don't be loud like that.
But it's funny.
No, it's not. It's annoying. You're going to knock my stuff over.
Sorry, I didn't realize that. You know what good, or you say what a bad thing?
Yes.
What? Yes to what?
Yes.
Yes?
The answer is yes.
And how long is your workout gonna be?
Like maybe 10 more minutes? Fill this up with water, please.
Say, I demand you to fill it with water.
I demand you to fill it with water.
I'll say please.
Please. So we'll cover the last one. The last bad fitness advice.
Sounds beautiful.
It can work, but it's not necessary.
Welcome.
Thank you. And that's that you have to cut carbs to get lean. You'll definitely hear this from the keto crowd nowadays. Possibly carnivore too. The reason it works is because when you cut carbs, you cut out a lot of tasty things that's easy to binge on. But I didn't know anything. I asked someone one time, what do you have to do to get lean when I was getting started? They're like, pretty sure you can't have bread. You have to cut out carbs. I was like, oh man, that stinks. Turns out that's not the case. It's just a calorie deficit. You can eat whatever you want. Now, if you're not eating the protein you need, you're probably gonna lose muscle, which you don't want to do. You don't want to just lose weight. You want to lose the fat. You want to maintain the muscle. I dieted down for a bodybuilding show and ate tons of carbs the entire time until the last 4 or 5 days when I did a keto diet to flush out all the water that's stored with carbs before you carb back up while being dehydrated. But aside from that, you don't have to cut carbs to lose weight. Again, it can make it easier because you cut out a lot of foods that can be high in calorie that are really easy to overeat. But if you know the right types of foods to eat to keep you full, that won't really be a problem.
Ouch. Look at that.
One thing I wish about this seat was that this would come up a little more. It's not really a huge deal, but I would like it better. It's still way more comfortable than my other, using my bench.
Oh, my hand is tiny. Oh, yes.
10.
11, 13, 14, got it, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, got it, 20, yay!
Almost there. Huh?
Almost to what?
The end.
Oh, my legs can't really reach it.
Hey, don't hurt yourself. Yeah, that's what you say. Can you not do that?
Can I do that thing?
Not right now, I'm using it.
Well, I mean, like, we did it. Now what? I'm gonna need your help.
13 reps with 320.
13 reps. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Only 14?
Yeah. You mad at me?
Yeah,
Sorry.
not really. What's your favorite number?
Depends on what I'm doing, I guess.
No, it doesn't matter. What is it?
It's 85.
85.
I don't know, it's just what popped in my head.
Do you know mine?
7.
No. It's higher.
23.
No, it's lower.
15.
No, it's lower. It's right.
11.
No.
10.
No.
9.
Yeah.
Because it's your age.
No.
Because you tooted it.
Huh? What?
I don't know.
Do you know what's good to eat?
9.
Yeah. So you get 2 pieces of the end of bread.
Of what?
Of bread. You cook it. And you
Like
make
cook
an egg.
it as toast?
Yeah.
So an egg sandwich?
Yeah, and you make an egg. And then you make bacon. And you put that all together. Like a sandwich.
So a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich?
No, not cheese.
Well, it'd be better with cheese.
No, it won't.
It definitely would.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah. Melted cheese.
What is this button for?
Melted cheese. Melted cheese makes everything better.
I don't.
Especially on pizza.
Does it make spaghetti taste better?
Yeah, Parmesan cheese.
Oh yeah. Does it make chicken nuggets taste better? No.
If it was on top of it, it would.
How do you know? Have you had it?
There's a thing called chicken Parmesan. It's like a big breaded piece of chicken, like a giant chicken nugget. There's cheese on it.
Have you had it?
Yeah,
Was it good?
obviously.
It definitely tastes good on broccoli. Right?
What?
I said it definitely tastes good on broccoli. Holy Jack. It's good on broccoli.
13. One more set of each.
And then do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say bye. But not yet.
If anyone's got any questions before we end here, feel free to post them
So,
and I can address them.
two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Don't say it's like at the top.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Only 13?
What'd you expect me to do?
15? And 14?
I didn't even do 15 last time.
So,
Okay.
was that your last set for that?
Oh, I'm gonna keep going with what's right. Why?
That's
I'm not going to Dairy Queen right now. I gotta finish fixing the sink.
you're saying it's one. I gotta go do some stuff. Well, actually, I gotta wait because I want to say bye.
Oh, 13 and 10. Last set of leg extension, I'm done. Definitely be tiring. What you making? Is that a big fat star?
That's a bunch of stars.
A superstar? From Mario?
What's Mario?
Super Mario Brothers? Isn't he called Mario?
I guess.
So they call him in some places. You can see my vein through my leg. Alright, let's get it done.
Well,
Hmm?
okay. Got it. But listen.
Stay back from this.
Yeah, put yellow, purple, pink and blue, and dark blue,
drop 50 pounds. Keep going. Oh, yeah, that's good. 13 and 8. Ugh. And that's it for a long, tiring leg day. Be back tomorrow with the push day. If you got questions, post them below and I'll address them tomorrow, or tune in then, probably in the afternoon. And I'll see y'all in the next one.
Dad.